Hey everybody, this is Darren Sabedra again, Bay Area News Group, Mercury News, East Bay Times. It's Monday night. We have wrapped up another night of high school basketball here with Nathan Canilao. Joseph Dykes, a little under the weather, I guess, today. And Christian Babcock, maybe watching a movie, maybe not. He didn't say what he was going to be doing, but worked a full day and he's not here with us this evening. Nathan made the trip to San Francisco tonight, thinking that he might see maybe another upset by Milpitas, which beat Bellarmine on Friday in a historic win, given that no public school had beaten a WCAL school since the CCS moved to pool play a few years ago. And Milpitas was only the fifth public school to beat a WCAL school since the CCS had an open division in 2013. But Nathan, I guess it was pretty clear on Monday night that Milpitas' Cinderella run was not going to continue.
Yeah, the score does not do it justice. The final will say that Milpitas lost by 13. They were down 26 at one point, and SI had their benches cleared about really 4 minutes left in the fourth. So, yeah, it was pretty dominant for SI. Coach Jason Greenfield was very adamant that he did not. He made it clear to his team that we were not going to be a part of history again, or part of Milpitas' history.
Right.
And they came out on all cylinders. They really put it on Milpitas. By mid second quarter, the game was pretty much over. And credit to SI, they look pretty good, and they've officially are now, I think, in the open title game. So that
yes they are. They had to wait a little bit, but when Sarah knocked off Bellarmine in the other Pool B game tonight in the CCS Open Division playoffs, which as you're probably all well aware, the CCS doesn't do traditional brackets for the Open Division. They go with pool play, so 2 4-team pods. Sarah has won, or St. Ignatius has won its pod because it has the win over Sarah, and now has a win over Milpitas, which beat Bellarmine. So St. Ignatius is the only team so far to punch its ticket to Santa Clara University on Friday nights. SI will still have to play Bellarmine, excuse me. They'll have to play Bellarmine on Wednesday at home, but that result won't matter. SI will be at Santa Clara U. Most likely against Reardon. It's going to take the upset of all upsets, but you and I just did the math. It's kind of, you have to add up things here in CCS pool play. It's not you have to figure out who beat who because it comes down to seeds. And believe it or not, if Valley Christian were to pull off the miracle upset on Wednesday night, and Valley just lost to Midi tonight, right? And that score was 37-36.
Yeah, very low scoring game.
So if Valley Christian goes to San Francisco and wins, Valley Christian will be St. Ignatius' opponent at Santa Clara University on Friday night. Of course, we don't think that's going to happen, right?
No, I think that is going to be a far-fetched, I think, idea for anyone to think that Reardon's going to lose that game. They believe the last 2 times they played Valley Christian, they put it on them.
Almost 50 last time at Valley, like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And tonight, after Reardon's quote unquote close call against Midi on Friday night, Reardon led 45-5 at halftime tonight against Menlo Atherton.
Yeah. It was a Reardon, I think, definitely wanted to bounce back, and they got it in a big way. They're very good, and it's going to continue.
So it'll likely be an all San Francisco final at Santa Clara U. Probably be better if it were at USF, but CCS, CCS locks in Santa Clara U, and I have no problem with that. It's a great venue, and it gives teams something to aim for. So CCS will be there on Friday night. On the girls' side, we don't know who's going to be there. I suspect it's going to be Pinewood against Midi. Midi will be at home to play Reardon on Wednesday, and Pinewood will be at home to play Prairie. So these are league matchups. Prairie is 0-2 against Pinewood this season, although they only lost by 7 earlier this month at Pinewood. So it could be interesting on Wednesday night. Midi routed St. Ignatius tonight has 2 double-digit wins over Reardon. It would take a major upset for Midi not to be in the open final again on Friday night. And another shot maybe against Pinewood, which Midi has dominated that series. Pinewood's had a couple historic wins over Midi through the years, but by and large, it's been a Midi's dominated Pinewood. And I added it up. Midi has been to 10 CCS finals, open division, since the format changed in 2013. They've only lost once, and that was in the spring pandemic season at home to Pinewood.
Yeah, it's with the Reardon game, I'm not saying I don't give Reardon much of a shot, but they did only, I guess, again, this is how dominant Midi is. They only lost to Midi the first time, I think by like 12 or 14.
14 at home. And then the second time they lost to them, it was in the 20s, right? The second time, it was 71 to 50 on February the 11th.
Yeah, so it's I won't say that it's going to be that competitive, but at least Midi, I think it might be good for them to get a little bit of a competitive rub before they play either Pinewood or Priory. I think that would be beneficial for them, and we'll see what happens there.
We're 2 rounds through pool play. You like it any better than you did earlier today?
No, this is just too confusing. I was sitting in the parent section of SI, and everybody was trying to add it up, and there's some wrong answers, there's some right answers. I think you just go back to the tournament style. It's easiest for everybody. Pretty much everybody I talked to was confused on how it worked.
Play it on the court. Play it on the court and play at home gyms. I mean, the CCS for years used to go to neutral sites for the semifinals of Open. They used to play them like at Independence. And these teams, had through the season, they've been playing in raucous home gyms, and they go to Independence on a Wednesday night in the Open division, or Tuesday night, or whenever they played it. And the gym was like half empty, and it felt like a December tournament game rather than a big playoff game. So maybe the CCS will eventually go back to traditional brackets for the top division. And I would say, you know what, just play at home sites until the final.
And the games mean more, to be honest. I mean, when you know that something is on the line that night, it means a lot more, rather than, well, if we lose, we could still get in, the next game or whatever. I think just the tournament style makes it mean a lot more to each team.
And even when you're the visiting team and you go into a raucous gym, and if you have your little corner of your student section, that's better than going to a neutral site on a Wednesday in a gym that's half empty.
Yeah, and you know what? And you bring that up, and I give Milpitas a lot of credit. They traveled well. There were more Milpitas student section fans than St. Ignatius, which I thought was really cool. So,
oh my gosh! Shout out to Milpitas. Maybe they'll show up on Wednesday when Sarah comes. It'd be a nice win if they were to win that game. I mean, to go 2-1 in pool play, that'd be pretty impressive as they move on to NorCal's next week.
Oh yeah. I mean, this has been a pretty good story for Milpitas so far. I think they only have 4 losses after tonight. I mean, it's been a dominant season for them. So that'd be a great, feather under the cap if they beat Sarah.
Let me ask you this: would it have been better for Milpitas if they had gone into Division I with a chance to win the championship, or to get this experience in the Open Division before moving on to NorCal?
I think if you ask Milpitas, they would have liked the Open. They get the NorCal bid, so that's fine. But from a just watching standpoint, I do think they're more of a Division I team. They definitely looked every bit of that tonight. SI was up by a lot, and they just looked a little bit overwhelmed, which is, and I think this is one of the first times they've been in this type of position, so it's understandable. But yeah, I think they're probably closer to a Division I team than they are an Open team.
All right, let's peek ahead real quick to tomorrow night, where the NCS returns, and then we also have CCS divisions 1 through 5 as they go into the quarterfinals. NCS games are in semifinals tomorrow night, and we got a big one in Division 1 where Doherty Valley, team we've talked about quite a bit, they need one more win to get to NorCal. Is it going to happen tomorrow night when Clayton Valley and Frank Alaco Jr., his teams are not easy to beat in the playoffs. I expect that one to be a nail biter.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a great matchup. You had Jalen Stokes, a UC Davis commit, going to go up against Elijah Perriman, who's a Utah State commit. And Perriman looks 100%. We've written about how he missed basically most of the season until about 2 weeks ago. Everybody, Alaco, talking to him, I was under the impression he'd be under a minutes restriction for the rest of the year, but that doesn't look like it's the case. He looks 100% now, so that will be an interesting matchup. Excited to see if he's going to match up with Stokes at all. I know he's a little smaller, but I do think we'll see a little bit of a Division I on Division I matchup there tomorrow.
What chance do you give Amador Valley hitting the road to go to the North Bay to face Redwood, a team that has a tradition in hoops, and I believe they're the Giants, and I'm thinking this would be a giant win for Amador Valley if it were to go across the Richmond San Rafael Bridge and come home back to Pleasanton with a win tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think if they could shoot the ball the way that they have, I know they shot the ball really well against O'Dowd. If the Kruger brothers and Jalen Smith and all those guys, if they could shoot the ball well, I think they have a really good shot. I know Redwood is a tough place to play, and TT Carr is no joke as guys going to Cal, so it'll be a tough challenge. But if they could shoot it well, I give Amador Valley every bit of a chance to win that game.
And then on the girls' side in NCS for Division I, a couple of teams that probably thought they could have been a open division team, top seed of Clayton Valley and second seed of Bishop O'Dowd. They'll try to advance to the finals. O'Dowd will be at home to play Redwood, and Clayton Valley will be at home to face California. I would think the two teams that thought they were going to be in the open are the heavy favorites in those games.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, just looking at O'Dowd's scores, I think they definitely probably should have been more in consideration to be an open team. But Clayton Valley has also had a pretty good run here in the first two rounds. So I think that's probably what we're going to see in the final is we'll probably see O'Dowd, Clayton, but California has also been pretty solid. They can win it scoring high. They could play a lot of defense, so they can win low scoring games too. So I wouldn't count them out. But I think O'Dowd and Clayton are probably the favorites in that division.
And remember, in the NCS divisions 1 through 5, tomorrow or this week, the semifinal games, they don't end your season. If you come up short, you get another shot in a third place game, right? To punch the ticket to NorCal.
Yeah. Actually, this is one part of this system that I do like is this third place game. I think it's going to give some teams that might lose in a heartbreak another shot. Probably some deserving teams that maybe had bad nights, they get another shot at it. So I'm excited to see how these third place games pan out. I think we're going to get some really competitive ones.
Does it take some of the pressure off the teams tomorrow and Wednesday that know that their season's not over if they lose, or do they really? I'm guessing they really want to win to get to the championship game.
Yeah, I think they definitely are thinking NCS title in mind. So I do think the pressure's still a little bit there, but I do think it takes off, the feeling of loss of, your season might be over. I think that probably goes away a little bit, knowing that, hey, we have another game, we have another shot. It's a play-in, so right. I think that'll be good for that.
All right. Before we wrap up, a couple of games in CCS I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Well, we got in Division I, so these are only quarterfinal games now. They play their semifinals on Thursday in Divisions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tomorrow in boys Division I, Homestead at 21-4, traveling to Los Gatos at 18-6. That should be interesting. Evergreen Valley, the 9th seed at 21-4. They play an entertaining brand of ball. They're going to be traveling to Palo Alto. And Santa Teresa at only 12-13. They're going to be hitting the road to play Carlmont. We've written a little bit about Santa Teresa. When that team's on, they're scoring 80+ points.
Yeah, they're very Houston Rockets-esque. They like to put up points, and I think that they're very dangerous for that reason. I know Carlmont's a very good team. They're kind of the opposite.
They play defense,
right? So I think this is going to be a fun matchup. I think if you're any team in that Division I bracket, you don't want to see Santa Teresa on a good night because you're going to have to outscore them. And how often is it that a high school team could put up 80, right, and match that? So I think that's going to be. I think they're a sleepy team to win that Division I bracket.
That'll be interesting if they can pull off the upset tomorrow to get to Thursday. check us out, mercurynews.com, eastbaytimes.com. We'll have coverage all week. More coverage tonight. Nathan, any parting shots before we wrap up? We got our guys coming back. I think tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we'll have have our guys coming back tomorrow. I will say that this is a very far look ahead, but not really too far. But on Wednesday we get the Open for the NCS and two really good matchups. De La Salle plays Dublin for a third time this season. I'll be at SRV Salesian. That's going to be a really good one. I think we'll have that'll be a great night of hoops there.
We've had so much playoff ball the last week and a half. I forgot that De La Salle and Salesian were still playing.
They haven't played in a while. They really have not played in a while. So I don't know. We might see some rust by both teams, but I think we see some good match, especially the Salesian SRV game. I mean, they played already, I think, earlier this season at Gridley, and that was a really close game. I don't expect it to be any far from that. So that'll be great.
Can't wait to see those Wednesday games. Thanks a lot, Nathan. We'll see you tomorrow, and you'll be out at Doherty.
Yes, I will.
To check it out. All right, man. That's a wrap.